What's up, everybody? It's Dev, YG Dev. Just had a very good convo with Jeff about music business, behind the scenes. We're the behind the scenes boys. Just a really good convo. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Feel free to follow me, YG Dev, all platforms. Yeah, let's go.
All right, we starting here. We can start the episode with that.
yeah,
I know you're not feeling too well, bro, but again, I appreciate you sitting down talking on camera. We already have our talks, but yeah. How's the how was last week? How's everything been?
last week was it was cool. It was another week where the work was pretty much like it was one of those work weeks where you know what you have to do coming
Mm-hmm.
into the week. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're gonna have something on your plate. But
Right.
overall, you just know what you need to do, what you need to get done. So I kind of just went in there every day, just like, all right, this is my agenda.
Mm-hmm.
How can I, you know, get these things done and maximize my potential? Every single day I kind of go into every day like that. How can I maximize my potential?
Yeah.
How can I, hit my end goal somehow, some way, you know, today. So
Any other person in your position is gonna take that route. I'm tired. I can't do it. X, Y, and Z excuses. Like, what keeps you going? What do you think that is?
um what keeps me going really my care for what I do. I think it starts there first before anything. I think like anybody in my position or just in this industry in general, music, you have to have a care for the sport.
Hmm.
I treat it like a sport. I got a basketball background, so it's like before any game, you do a whole lot of practices before you get to any type of game.
Right.
So and just overall having a love for like getting up, practicing, working on the small things to have a great game.
Mm-hmm.
So with music, the behind the scenes stuff, even just with creating, I love everything about it. Um, so it starts there first, and then I think just overall like where I want to go in life, um, and the type of life that I want to have.
Right.
I see myself again doing this for as long as I can walk, as long as I can live, but also doing it without having to worry about money, worry about my
Hmm.
family issues, worried about, getting the next dollar and
Right.
taking care of whoever. Like, I kind of just want to create freely, not have to worry about too much.
Right.
So I think those two things kind of just like fuel me to continue every single day.
When was the transition? You say you used to play basketball, used to be real heavy in that. Like when was it okay, I'm done with this.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to really pursue music. This is something I really want to do. Like when did you like did do that?
Um, well, music was always around in my life. From very young. I mean, really from like since I was in my mom's belly. Um, art in general. I was a big music, art connoisseur, fashion connoisseur. So
Mm-hmm.
I was always just centered around it, and it's kind of walked with sports.
Right.
Um, I've been playing basketball since I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I went all the way through high school to college. Up until college, the whole politics and the ins and outs of that.
Yeah.
Life got real, and you're kind of just like, all right, bro, you gotta like figure your shit out.
Right.
I eventually kind of was just like, you know, this is not fun anymore. This is not what I
Mm.
once fell in love with. Back to kind of what I said, like you kind of got to be in love with what you do.
Right.
Um, I wasn't in love with it anymore, but I always had a passion for my art
Right.
and the art that I was around. So, it actually really started out with a magazine.
Mm.
Well, shit, even before a magazine, it started out actually with a fashion brand,
Yeah.
Napism, with my brother Benny. Um, it started out with a brand. This was like high school, junior year, senior year. We were walking in shows, high school shows, college shows. Uh, I was helping Benny with just like putting pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then he started to take the pieces and get them done, start sewing, so on
Right.
and so forth, getting shirts done. Started doing shows. The shows were good. We weren't really far, not far to where some of these brands are doing it now. But it was a step in the right direction where it showed us exactly what we can do, how far we can take things,
Mm.
even with starting from nothing.
Right.
Um, then that turned into the magazine. The magazine, I was really just doing journalism. I was actually in school for journalism at the time, and this was kind of like when I'm quitting basketball, I'm doing journalism.
Mm.
I'm thinking I'm going to do sports journalism.
Right.
That didn't have a long future, like I said, so it was just kind of like this is going to die out soon. Benny was very,
It's time to jump ship.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like bro, at that time it was like try out a whole bunch of things, like
yeah, right. Throwing paint at the wall.
it's all like stuff that I would do,
Yeah.
but what do you want to be known for? What do you want
Right.
your legacy to be?
Right.
What's your purpose? And I feel like my purpose in all of it is pretty consistent, but
Mm.
it's more concrete in music. So,
Got you.
that quickly died out. And my peers knew that. Benny, Teddy, um,
Mm.
very adamant on, hey, Dev, like, you put me on to all the music I know, all these new
Facts.
artists I know, all this what's hot, what's not, what's like
Right.
you know it all.
What's
You're the
known, what's unknown.
you're the pulse.
Yeah, yeah.
So take this full time, whether if it's doing A&R, whether if it's being a manager,
Right.
just get in it somehow, some way. Benny went to the extreme to be like, you should be an artist, but I,
You probably be a great artist. I'm not gonna lie.
I would think so too. But
Yeah.
man, it with artists, bro, artists are crazy. I'm crazy. And bro, they're so anal
Yeah.
and all types of words that I can't think of right now,
Yeah.
but about their work and about their vision, their
Mm.
world. Like I don't have the time,
Yeah.
Like and some days I can be like that, but then
Mm.
other instances I'm just like, bro, I want to be behind the scenes,
Right.
and even if I did music, bro, I would probably no lie be one of those anonymous
Mm.
artists drop every 4 years playing the flute like three stacks.
Yo.
Got a fake page like Kendrick. Like I'd be like that type of artist, bro. Like
Yeah.
really living my life and making music every day, but you'll see the glamour and all that shit when
Right.
I'm ready for
So
it.
even so we see like with, Frank Ocean, Andre, they have the ability to retreat.
Yeah.
But kind of start your career, do you think you would have given in to okay, you need to be on social media, you need to be active, or you would have just straight up been I'm anonymous,
Me,
fuck with me.
me
Like
personally, I would have been an anonymous fuck. Like I would
okay,
have just
yeah.
been like,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm good. The people that know me and know the music I make will
Right.
gravitate to it. And I'll do certain things, certain tactics to, get to the people that I want to get to. But
Yeah.
overall, bro, I just want to make the best music I make
Mm.
and just talk to who I talk to.
Right.
For others, I do think, everyone's purpose in this is different. I will say for most, start off with a good routine.
Mm.
Um, Attract the people that you attract.
Right.
Do some of the things, like I said, that can navigate these people to you. Frank had to do what he had to do
Mm.
with Channel Orange and
Blonde.
Blonde. But
Yeah.
even before then with
Right.
Nostalgia Ultra, like he had to be in the mix, he had to do the odd future shit,
Right.
had to do all the features until it was a time for him to okay, I
Yeah.
can cool down, I can get out of this deal with Def Jam
Right.
that's fucking me and I can do my own thing.
He's
It
had
takes
a
everybody a start and an end point.
he's had an exit plan probably since the beginning.
Yeah. Everybody
Like
should though.
yeah.
Everyone should. I think like this kind of still ties in with your question. Like
Mm.
have an entry and then as soon as you enter, have a exit. Like
Right.
have a how am I gonna navigate through these things that can really corrupt me and keep me here
Mm.
and doing things that I don't want to do.
Mm.
One of those things will be, yes, I gotta be all on the internet
Right. Yeah.
doing all this fugazi bullshit that I don't want to do on a day to day. Like,
Inauthentic
yes,
to yeah.
yeah,
Being inauthentic to get somewhere authentic
literally.
backwards. But um okay. So we know a lot of the artists here, like we know you have a great ear.
Mm.
What I would say, okay, the A&R before, and correct me if I'm wrong, was somebody who would go out and scout talent for labels to sign. With artists, for lack of better terms, now signing themselves, this whole independent wave, what can you rely on other than the sound? Like what criteria do you look at to measure who you're gonna work with?
It's a very good question. I think for me, my biggest thing is I've seen, granted I'm young, but I've experienced a lot of music, a lot of the culture.
Mm,
I've studied this for a very long time. Um, and I think what I've noticed through every single era was no matter what, whether if it was a very captivating artist in a Michael Jackson or a very, niche, just to themselves,
mm,
just talk to who I talk to, person and like MF Doom.
mm,
I think they all overall kind of like approach their craft the same way and approach who they wanted to get it across the same way.
right.
And I think my biggest thing is like just your overall awareness. Like,
Mm,
and what I mean by that, like your artistic awareness is like, are you aware enough that your story or the type of music that you want to make, like, is it as worldly as Drake?
mm,
No, but I put so much so and so and this in my music that
right.
I know that there's someone like me. I've run into people that are like me on a day to day basis,
Right.
and I know even where it came from
Mm,
and who I'm giving it to. I think that your awareness is like overall like one of the biggest things that you really need to have as an artist because if you don't have it, you're kind of lost.
yeah.
You know, Jay-Z, one of my favorite artists. I appreciate his awareness so much.
Mm,
I appreciate Kanye's awareness where he's like, "Hey, I'm a I'm going to start out with being the cocky backpack rapper
mm.
that people kind of doubt me and I make great beats for everybody and so on and so forth in the college dropout and late registration.
Right.
But then I'm gonna make stadium music with graduation. I'm gonna make I'm gonna make genre bending music in 808s and Heartbreak.
Mm,
Then I'm gonna make one of the greatest rap albums ever in My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Like you have to have that awareness to maneuver in every single project, every single song, every single
mm.
phase you want to go through in this music.
Right.
So I think awareness is really the biggest thing. And that's really what I kind of try to preach to the artists that come in here. Like
Mm,
overall, you start off with, a few artists that really just don't know where they want to go.
mm.
Don't know really they don't have their exit. But I
Right.
think that once they get their feet in the sand, really start to figure things out, how things work, that's when you start to implement, hey, who do you speak to?
Right.
Do you think that this song or do you think that your vocal practice or you think that your production or just all these things that you incorporate in your music, do you
Right.
think that it touches across the board?
Right.
Or do you think that it touches little old so and so from so and so and this is their story? You know? I try to just paint that for everybody.
So you are then the awareness. Your job isn't just going to find talent. Oh, you could be potential talent.
Yeah,
You're actually with them step by step.
yeah.
This is the route to go.
Because bro, again, you're not gonna find a Madonna every single day. You're not gonna
Right.
find Prince every single day. Like these are anomalies. Like
Right.
again, how many people like for the listeners out there, like how many of do you guys know top of your head, like try to count how many superstar artists that have came across like your you know time of music. Like if
Yeah.
you listen to music, you probably can only name 5 to 10 people
Right.
that really like you consciously know. Damn, that person was a superstar. I went to their show and bro, I cried, and they had people that don't even look like me feeling like me.
Yeah.
Like you only know that like of a handful of people,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like everybody's gonna have to find their niche, find their way. Like, yeah, I may not be, Kendrick Lamar, but if even Kendrick had to find his way,
Right.
you know, like he was aware enough to say, "Hey, I need to go from overly dedicated and Section 80
Mm-hmm.
and become damn." Like I'm making songs with Rihanna.
Yeah.
Those songs he would have never made 7 years ago when he
Right.
made overly dedicated.
Right.
So just have that awareness and figure it out. But overall, like really, like study what you do,
Mm-hmm.
study the craft, study others, be a
Right.
fan of others, be a fan of the past,
Right.
and put it in yours, put it in your gumbo.
Hmm. Okay. Like I love listening to music. I want to become an artist. I want to become a musician, but I don't know where to start.
Mm,
He basically just gave it away. Like one, listen to more music, study the music that you like, kind of sift through what you like and what you don't like, apply it to yourself. Okay, what can I
definitely.
do? What am I good at?
I also say like
Uh,
even if it's not necessarily something that is relative to how you sound or what you do,
yeah.
like break it down, like sort of see where your sound can go. If you're a lyricist, think of like or start to study like just all the past eras of lyricists. Like
Mm,
go from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s. Go to their production. Where were they from? What was their backgrounds? How did the production relate to those people?
yeah.
Like why does why do the last the 90s, like granted I'm not from LA, but why do they hold Ice Cube to such
Mm,
a standard that I may hold Nas to?
right. Right.
Like two polar different sounds, but study both
Yeah.
and put it to yours. You be that bridge in the middle, so
Mm.
that's how I see
Where do you draw the line between like copying?
it.
Little auntie question. What? Yeah, where do you draw the line between, bro, you're blatantly copying,
Mm,
and then okay, you were inspired, and this is something fresh. This is something new. I know where you got it from,
mm,
but I see what you did with it. Like there, I was my bad. One more thing. The there's a common thing with rappers who take like uh like samples, R&B samples,
mm.
rip the song and just put trap drums
Bro,
over it.
that's one of my biggest pet peeves today
Yeah.
is producers not producing and taking great samples.
Yeah.
First of all, this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. They're taking the most
But
obvious sample
yeah.
and then, bro, they're just copy, paste, put drums, put
Right.
808s, put some auto tune.
Drums, 808s from another person's drum kit.
Yeah,
Not even
that
you're not
too.
even making the
That too.
drums. Just yeah, yeah.
That too. When producers, bro, yo, like there was a time where, bro, I don't know if you know the story. Kind like it was for Good Life, or no, it was for Stronger. It was actually for both records.
Mm-hmm.
He said Stronger was supposed to come out earlier. The reason why it was such a long process was
Mm.
because he didn't have the right 808 for the record.
Right.
He said that he was listening to Timbaland
Mm-hmm.
and had to get Timbaland's beat pack,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
literally like drum kits and 808s
Right.
and to do it. But he didn't have the access to it. Bro, he
Right.
had to call Timbaland. Timbaland had to come to the studio and say, hey bro, boop 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 boop.
What a
Here you
legendary
go.
thing. I had to call up Timbaland
Yeah.
and go eat.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. But
So
yeah.
Timbaland has a production credit on Stronger,
Yeah.
because it's his 808s. He came in, he set it up for Ye.
And that's respect. Like, I'm not afraid to say that I can't do this and I
Mm-hmm.
need you to do this because you're
Mm-hmm.
better than me. But today
Yeah.
it's like,
To go to your question,
yeah,
if Ye didn't hit Timbaland, that would probably be copying,
yeah, right,
or
right,
just not having the pride to say, "Hey, bro, like I need that.
right.
I'm inspired by that. I want to put this on mine,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to copy one.
Yeah,
I also don't want to. I don't want to do this no justice.
right.
Like
I care about the art
I care about
before,
exactly,
yeah,
and I care about you getting your respect as well.
right,
So let me
right,
hit you, the sensei, to
right,
bring this together for me.
yeah, yeah.
Back to your question though about the copying thing. There was, I don't know if you guys know this story, but I was watching. I don't know if you guys are familiar with hip hop. He was the A&R for Rockefeller,
Mm,
and one of his biggest records, of course, is Big Pimpin'. That's where he was at the time. He was at Rockefeller at the time on Volume 3, and Jay wasn't originally feeling the beat, feeling the record.
mm,
He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna give it to you, Hop, to do it." So
mm,
Hop made the hook, and he's like, "This has a, because Timbaland did the drums on that too."
right.
He's like, "This has a very southern bop to it. I need to go get UGK."
Okay.
So he goes get
Another,
Pimp C and get Bun B.
yeah.
Pimp C was like, "Bro, I'm not feeling this record. It got a weird groove to it.
uh,
Jay talking about some touching something in the back of the truck. I'm not feeling that. Blah blah blah.
yeah.
If I do this, I gotta get on a different type of flow."
Okay. Yeah.
Hop, he's like, "All right, I'm gonna spin back on you." A couple months later, he hits him back. Pimp C's like, "Yeah, bro, I'm a get I had to get in contact with Big Gip
Mm.
from um Film Mob, Crime Mob. Sorry,
I
Crime
was about
Mob.
to say, you know better than me.
Um, from yeah, from the mob, Big
Yeah.
Gip, and his flow. Basically, had to borrow his flow.
No.
He had to like literally call Big Gip and say, "Hey, yo, like Big Gip, I got this record I'm about to do.
Yeah.
Has potential. Can I borrow your flow?" And Big Gip gave him the
The
just due.
blessing. Can I borrow?
You know what I'm saying? So
Nobody's asking for that today.
exactly. So it's like it's kind of just like, bro, you gotta pay homage.
Mm.
You have to give everybody their just due, give everybody their credit if you're
Right.
going to borrow you just whatever. Like even if you get influence, like
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you have to go and you have to kiss ass, but bro, pay your dues. Like
Right. Right.
pay your dues to the people who did it on their own, had to go through their trial and error to
Mm-hmm.
figure out what they wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
and they did it, and then now you're just gonna come in and copy. No, you can't do that. You have to give them their credit. So that's what I have to say about the giving credit where it's due and the copying thing. I do think today it's a little bit blended,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I only think that that's the case because the genres are blended.
Mm.
Um, I think that rap isn't just rap anymore. It's
Right.
R&B, it's rock, it's everything alternative, like
Right.
so many different influences. So I think that you know with today, it's kind of like it's going to be hard for you to cross over into another genre and say, hey, little so and so, can I borrow or whatever, whatever. But
Yeah.
I do think at the same time, it's like very away from what you were influenced by any means possible.
Mm.
I do think take whatever you need to take, but at some point you're going to have to add if it's a different type of flow, a
Right.
different type of tone, a different type of, hey, I use this plugin
Right.
that so and so used, but maybe I need to alter it like
Right.
and make it my thing. Like you're going to have to alter in some shape or form to make it yours. But again, I get it, for the artists that are making music today. Like, I understand it is what it is, but eventually find your exit within,
Um,
you know,
I feel like
your influence.
it comes with intention. So
Yeah.
if your intention is if you're focused on the exit, when you enter,
Mm-hmm.
like that makes the room for I don't care about who I give credit to. I don't care how about my process is. I want to be big. I want to be known. I want to be famous. Like there's no I want to be in this for a really long time anymore. And I think that really affects people's process
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
music suffers because of it.
yeah, for sure. Again, I'm a like even like somebody like Travis. Like
Mm-hmm.
Travis is a Kanye, Kid Cudi baby.
Mm-hmm.
He does not sound like neither one of
Right.
them. It is Travis Scott to the
Right.
T, you know, but you can clearly see who his influences are. Like I say just use that as a great example for
Yeah.
the kids that are like even like the Cardi fans, like that's a good population of rap music today. Like
Right.
they're all somehow, some way taking a bit of what Cardi has done. It's like find your way, find your niche, like start to use different beats, different type of tones. Like
Right.
Yeet had to find his way, and now Yeet is Yeet. You know,
Right.
it's
Right.
like there's a way, but just find your way.
It's got yeah. Again, being intentional with it. I want to sound different, so I want to be so outlandish, but
Yeah.
taking from your influences,
Hmm.
adding a little bit of yourself into it, and being patient.
For sure.
We
Yeah.
just talked about delayed gratification. Like,
Be patient. That's a big thing too.
yeah.
For sure.
Mm. So
By
being,
the way,
mhm.
I said Phil Mob and Crime Mob, Goody Mob. I sound like a dumbass. Goody Mob. Like,
If anybody's gonna come back and correct themselves about music, it's you.
bro, but it's funny because these are all Atlanta groups. Phil Mob, Crime Mob, Goody Mob, like influence still. It's easy to get like kind of, fucked up about it, but
Mm.
it's Goody Mob.
So I want to transition to Nas.
Mm,
So a lot of not a lot of artists have someone that's in their sessions constantly telling them, you know, this works, maybe not this, or you should do this, or talking to the engineer, maybe raise the levels like this.
mhm.
Um, can you kind of go into your relationship with Nas and how important it is for, I guess, the modern A&R to have a good relationship with the artists they work with?
Yeah. With Nas,
I'm sorry, let me backtrack. So what is your take on the modern A&R? If I'm just an artist coming through the studio,
okay.
what is that? Before, yeah.
I think well, I feel like that's a question that deserves two answers. First one I will say, like with the modern A&R today,
Mm,
I think what they're kind of focused on is a how can I, you know, um how can I profit, really it's really how can I profit on this hot commodity. It's like,
that's the mentality.
yes, for
Mm,
a lot of A&Rs today.
mm,
Because in today, bro, our industry has so much money in it
yeah.
that with the money, it's the root of all evil. It's going to come with
Right.
a lot of manipulation and a lot of shisty, just manipulative, like
Right.
ulterior
Ulterior
motives.
motives. Yeah. Exactly.
So it's kind of like with the industry and with so much money in it,
Mm,
it's going to become a little bit more predatory, right? They're going to
mm,
prey on kids and a lot of artists, young artists that don't necessarily know their exit.
right.
They're worried about getting this bag and getting up out of here,
Right.
or just getting the bag and becoming a popping artist.
Right.
They don't really have no idea of what you can do in this industry and
Mm,
what it can do to you.
right. Right.
So
Right.
these A&Rs, man, like overall, they're just really just trying to get a check. They're chasing a check, which is kind of like messing up the art in itself
Right.
because now it's like, okay, you're an A&R of so and so's label,
Mm,
distribution, whatever the case may be. You're trying to get the next Ice Spice, Lil Nas X, Coi Leray,
right.
whoever,
You're looking
right?
at numbers.
you're looking at numbers,
not
you're looking at
talent.
data,
Yeah.
you're looking at money, you're looking at finance, just value. Like you're looking at all these things and not like the art form, the
Right.
music, and who's coming to these shows, who's being affected by this music, right?
Right.
So they're going based off of, hey, if I sign this person for however much, I'm gonna get paid
Mm-hmm.
on the back end somehow,
Mm-hmm.
some way. If I make this little tune with whoever, like
Yeah.
I'll get the residuals, you know.
Right.
So it's taking out a lot of just purity in it.
Mm.
Um, that's what
Source.
huh?
Source. We've
Yeah,
been having a conversation about source, bro. Source connection. And yeah, same
yeah,
thing.
bro. It's going to take out a lot of just purity in the art, and going to have these A&Rs and these labels really just like again preying on the weak, preying
Yeah.
on the people that don't know, you know. So it's gonna take people like me, take people like you, take people like Bees and all these great people
Right.
to really invest time in these artists, build relationships,
Right.
valuable relationships, and we care about the art at the end of the day.
Right.
So we're gonna put that first. Like I don't
Always.
really want to talk to a lot of people who, granted, I understand why they're doing it, I get it, but I don't want to frequent with them if you don't care about this art form.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I care about money, but I care about the art more than anything.
Right.
Like, I will die about some good music.
Right.
Like, period. You know,
Right.
so that's what it is with me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put an artist in position if they're not ready. Go into this
Mm.
artist development thing, like,
Mm-hmm.
because one side of A&Ring is artist development.
Right.
Sign that big artist, but make sure that they have a long,
Stay
successful
with them.
career.
Yeah. You
Yes.
don't just leave them
I'm
to the
not gonna
wolves.
sign Coil Ray
Yeah.
and then not be with her in 2 years.
Right.
I'm going to
Right.
sign Coil Ray and then make sure that she gets the proper performance people for her performances.
Right.
Make sure that she gets the proper team for her production.
Make sure that she gets what she signed for. Like
Thank you. I'm
straight
not
up.
about to just take advantage and, and,
Right.
and just consume and just eat
Right.
and pray. Like, I'm going to get these artists, I'm going to put them in the rooms with the people that they need to be in the rooms with
Right.
and make the best music possible. Then you can get this money, all this money that you want. That's what's going to come. But
Right.
overall, like these artists need to have more than just 5 years or 4 years to their name.
Yeah.
Like, bro, people that I, I say as of today, like, I graduated 2015. Bro, the artists that came in 2015, 2016 were not there in 2020.
Mm.
People that, and
Mm.
it just got shorter. People that came
Yeah.
in 2020, 2019,
Not here
not
2022.
here in 2022,
Yeah. Yeah.
2023, and 2024.
Yeah.
Like, so the longevity is getting smaller
Right.
and we're accepting this window. Like now it's not 5, 6 years. Now it's 2.5, 3.
It's artists who want that longevity, but we're putting average on the pedestal so
Exactly.
much
Exactly.
they can't get through. And
Exactly.
they're the artists who, no, I'm not trying to be on TikTok all day. I'm creating. You get what I'm saying?
Literally.
So it's
Literally.
wicked. I think the tables will turn. Everything has its cycle.
Yeah.
But
And then
yeah,
um that's how I feel about, artist development and just A&R in general. We need more people like us, like I said.
yeah,
Um from a where I'm at with it with
yeah,
Nas, um I think that first it starts off with a brotherly bond.
right,
I genuinely care about Forget Music, seeing him win as a person,
right,
because he's a good person, and I mean I just feel that way about anybody that I spend my days with,
yeah,
um, and I know that he does the same for me,
mm,
um, and it started out like that. I mean, at first, like for those that may know or may not know, Nas was one of the very few people that I interviewed at the time of my transition with the magazine.
mm,
Again, I was doing A&R work then, but I really wanted to find an artist that I can start to work with.
right. Help
Um,
grow.
yeah, and help grow.
Yeah,
If I can blow up my first artist
mm-hmm.
and then I'm good. Like everything else will just follow in line. So
Right.
I really wanted to find that first artist, and then I didn't want to do it in the way that anybody else would do it in this industry today.
Mm.
Most people will dick rot, unfortunately, or will do things that are not at their core belief.
Right.
I wanted to develop a good relationship with somebody
Mm.
where I call you my brother before music. Like I call you my sister before music.
Right.
Like, can I really vibe with the person that you are? Nas was one of those people.
Right.
He's a hard worker. He's a family man. Like
Sure.
he cares about things that are bigger than music.
Yeah.
You know, so I knew off the rip, like, hey, I'm gonna vibe with this person. Like music aside, business aside, I'm gonna vibe with this person. And
Right.
that's what I always wanted from the very beginning. Music was just like a side part to it,
Yeah.
you know. So um then the music came. Um I came during the Mayor B time.
Mm.
Um didn't get so hands on with the project. I did the track listing with
Mm.
Nas and the transitions.
Right.
Um I seen where he wanted to go with the project sonically. And then a lot of the just marketing and the rollout of that
Mm.
project with Benny. Um Something that again won't be like ever. Man, we did like that was like a month and a half worth of like label like attention to
Mm.
that project and
Yeah.
like how it was going to be perceived. We, Zach and Kel and Bees brought me along to really at first work on Nas's image
Okay.
and just brand and overall just how he appears along with his music.
Right.
And then it just so happened that they realized like, no, Dev has an ear for this shit. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
even for the A&Rs and anybody in music, like if you're behind the scenes, you know, get in where you fit in and then prove yourself within time. But it's gonna take time. You're not just gonna get where you wanna go in 3 seconds. Like it's
Right.
gonna take time. Um and yeah, so Nas, it started with just having sessions, listening back to the music. I'm giving him certain types of things that I think that he could do better.
Mm.
Um, Giving him beats, giving him references, just like track ideas. This was like shortly after maybe. Um, and yeah, he started to trust my vision, trust my ear. Um, to even where it got to a point where he's like, "Hey, sit in these sessions with me."
Right.
Um, he gave me the full role in picking out beats. Um, some tracks that I had in mind, stuff that we could talk about.
Mm.
I'm looking at his life as a friend, as a
Right.
brother,
Right.
and I'm
Right.
like, bro, you have so many layers to you. You need to talk about all this in your music. Like
Yeah.
right now, I love you as an artist, but you're talking about these very this small room of things.
Right.
Like I think you're layered enough where you can talk to even more people. Back
Right.
to that awareness thing. I
Right.
think that Nas saw that as well. I think
Mm.
he just needed somebody to pull it out of him.
Yeah.
In the next
Somebody with the
project, you get
awareness.
If You're Still, Thank You,
Mm.
um, which was a project that was layered, like really layered, like
Yeah.
so much. Like I said, so many things was happening in his life, and I'm seeing him really change and unravel as a person. Like put it all in the music, put it all in the project, song for song,
Right.
and we get that body of work. So it just developed over time, man. And like again, really start as a friendship, start as a brother. You know, like I said before, music, he could depend on me to do damn near anything for him
Right.
at a time of need. And then it grew from there. So, yeah,
Your whole team in general has to be people that you can take to your parents' house. You
facts,
can go on road trips.
facts,
Your
bro.
family.
Yeah,
You're really family.
because again, Jeff, like in music, bro,
Mm-hmm.
you spend all your time with these strangers. Like you spend all your time with these people that,
Yeah.
whether if you met them 3 months ago or 2 years ago, like
Right. Day and night.
day and night, they're gonna become your brother, your sister, your aunt,
Yeah.
your uncle, your mom, your dad. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna become those people. You're
Right.
gonna see them more than your real people,
Ro-
your real family.
Yeah.
You know, so
Facts.
I spend more time with Nas. I call Nas more than I call my mom. I will show you my call log. Like it's real. Like he will tell you, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you wanna trust these people, have faith in these people, you know, and vice versa. Like
Right.
you want them to have that with you as well. Um, you know, if you're a decent human, like you just want these decent things from these people. So
Decency.
yeah.
What are the red flags? I'm an artist
Ooh.
looking for an A&R or just team members in general, producer, engineer, a manager.
Mm,
And I'm also a manager, an A&R, producer looking for an artist. Like what
mm.
are
The red flags on
yeah, what makes me no, I don't want to work with you.
it.
Like
um, no trust, no patience. Nas had patience with me. Bees had patience with me. You know,
mm,
me and Bees talk all the time about like if I fuck up, if I mess up, be able to tell me. I be able to take the critique,
mm,
come back, improve, discuss where I messed up,
right.
where they feel I can be better.
Mm,
All these things, I think like patience and that trust, like I look at it as like a trust fall. Like, can I just blindly lay back and know that you'll be able to catch me?
right.
If I feel any type of uncomfortableness
Mm-hmm.
in that, then it's probably not going to work out.
Regardless of the talent or whatever motion you
Regardless
have
of
going
it,
on, it always
yeah,
starts with the person.
exactly.
Yeah.
Patience and just trust.
Yeah.
I think those are like the biggest things, and I think like again we're big on core values. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think like your core values and your beliefs. Like granted, we don't obviously like politics and religion and all that. Like whatever. More so, just like hey, pay your dues, please and thank you. Like
Effort and care.
effort
Like,
and care. You know,
yeah.
like attention to detail.
Right.
You know, are you like are if you start something, are you going to finish?
Mm-hmm.
Like simple things. Like if you don't believe in these things strongly,
Right.
then it's like we don't have a lining here,
Right.
and just those simple core things.
Right.
You
And
know,
it might not be that, how do I want to put it? If you don't have a set of core values, you don't know how to
that's it.
audit people or
Facts. That
you,
too.
yeah.
You know, you're gonna run into a lot of people who don't necessarily have identity, core values
Right.
in this. Like again, I say this industry, they're going for the young, they're going for the people who aren't necessarily aware
Mm-hmm.
of really who they are as a person or who they are as an artist.
Right.
It's getting younger and younger by the day.
Right.
So I say that to say like know yourself even before you try to come into this industry.
Mm.
Know yourself even before you try to get a team.
Right.
Like before you even try to get an artist. Hey, what do I believe in?
Mm-hmm.
What do I want from this? Does this is this going to align with someone else? Like,
Right.
is it going to make sense?
Right.
Does it make sense to me?
Right.
Like these small things and these simple questions you should ask yourself before you even try to partner up with someone or give someone time or them giving you time, like, because it's just going to be a waste of time,
Yeah.
you know? So,
Bars.
yeah, for real. For real. So, you know, aligning, just making sure everything makes sense at these small, they're really not small, but it's like, again, they are small, you would think,
Yeah.
but it's not common. Like this music industry, you're there's not too many times where you see that people have that identity before they got into this, and they're not paying the people that they worked with or borrowed from or whatever
Right.
the case may be, or saying thank you
Right.
or what asking the proper questions or doing the work or just all these things that you would think that somebody, a decent human being, would do. They're
Right.
not doing it. So, you know, I wish I could say that it's small, like because they are
Mm-hmm.
in this world, but in this industry, they're not that small. Like it's a
The
big thing.
yeah, the details, the littlest things matter.
Yeah, the
It's the
littlest
difference
things
between you getting the job and not.
for sure.
Somebody choosing you and somebody not. So
Yeah,
just being
bro.
being well rounded, so
Treating
to speak.
everybody
Yeah,
with respect,
right. The golden
like
rule. Yeah,
it's all just the simple stuff, bro.
yeah.
You know, treating everybody the same, treating everybody how you want to be treated. You know, I look at my my teammates, my partners, like my brothers and my sisters, like we're all bosses, we're all one, like we're all gonna get a Billy in
With a
our
B.
yeah in our way.
Yeah.
Like yeah, sure, boss is founder and owner and CEO. I think that if Bees was to give me that key, I can run it the same exact way, and that's how it should be. We
Mm,
all prep ourselves to, be all one sound, one band,
right.
one sound, like,
Right.
and all we all have the same goal in this race,
Mm-hmm.
So everybody treats everybody with respect, and yeah, bro, that's really it. Simply
Nobody's
put,
even kind of going back to choosing your team. Like nobody's goal overpowers or outshadows anybody else's. We all have different goals,
exactly,
but we also know that first and foremost, I want to help you with yours as you want to
bro.
help me with
We got
mine.
a common goal.
Right. Right.
That's our overarching thing,
Right.
and then we all have our own goals, and even those bleed in.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
bleed in. Your
Yeah.
goals is just the same as mine for
Yeah.
somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Goes one. Yeah. It goes back to same having the core values,
yeah,
having the same people, same energy type of vibe.
facts.
Is there anything you're excited about coming up? Any projects coming out? Anything that you can talk about? Like what's
Um, nothing concrete as of right now. I will say, new music is always going to be coming out. Um, Nas is. I'm so happy where we're at with Nas
mm,
from a business standpoint and from a just overall artist standpoint. He's really in his artistry. Like he's
yeah.
really about to get deep into his artistry because everything behind it
Mm-hmm.
is just making sense and it's aligning.
Right.
So I'm happy for that. Nas is really about to flex his muscle.
Hmm.
Um, Working with more artists. Um, yeah, working with more artists. Working you know, really just getting my stuff in order as well too. Like, you know, once I get in that position,
Mm-hmm.
it's really like just getting some of the things that I want to get done, like songs. I want to get in, songwriting with you heavy.
Right.
Um, um, Building more projects with other artists.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Developing other artists to where they reach their full potential.
Kind of like using the blueprint you're building with Nash, and
Just yeah,
yeah,
literally
yeah,
cultivating it and putting it to others.
right,
And just some bigger projects. Like my brand is it's thing in itself. Um, and I want to flex my muscle too.
right, as you should.
Subtly. But I also want to just like cultivate a bunch of like-minded people as well that are like me.
Yeah,
Um, and flex my muscle. So yeah, that's really it. All I got in the immediate time. Um, I think that we can probably come back months from now, or just
mm,
another time where I'll be on this couch and we can look over like where Nas is and where some of the artists that we're working with
right,
now,
right,
and really just see like the progression that they've made, and then where I'm at.
mm-hmm.
I don't really put myself before my work or before the people that I work with.
Yeah,
I want to make sure that they get everything that they have in front of them first before me, to be honest. Just because I feel like the work I do with them
mm,
speaks for me. It
mm,
speaks for my brand in
yeah.
itself. So yeah, really just I want to get them going, and then everything that comes to me will come. You
It's gonna be a quote, caption, or something.
know.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
that's it, man. Good conversation.
Good combo.
Yeah.
Good talk.
Behind the scenes boys.
Behind the scene boys. Sound like drop boys.
I should have like behind the scenes boys.
I'm adding that in there. Is it still recording?
I'm
It's still recording.